巨人がいるなど想像も。想像していた者などいない。知らない者同士。
This video will contain spoilers up to Attack on Titan Chapter 93. If you're not up to date with the manga and or only watch the anime, do not watch this video as you'll be spoiled of the greatness that is Shingeki no Kyojin. And for the love of God, people, you don't want to do that. So, just quickly before the theory about Zeke starts, I just want to give credit to the Reddit user A New Symphony, as this user made a discussion thread on Reddit listing the major translation errors that Chapter 93 had, as the official release has not come out yet for this chapter. In this, the user mentions an idea about Zeke possibly double-crossing Marley. I thought I'd just do some more research on this theory, go more in detail about it, make it in a video so it's kind of easier for people to follow, and just really have fun talking about the greatness that is Titan, because it definitely has been on an absolute roll the past year, the manga that being. I'll link the translation threads in the description below, but with that being said, let's get right into it. Sometimes I'm really just left at awe by how amazing the plot progression of Attack on Titan really is. You really just have to read these latest time skip arc chapters over and over again to properly take everything in and understand all the new content, especially since this time skip arc really has come out of nowhere since the previous arc, the return to Shiganshina. There's just so much new information to take in. It's really hard to guess what Isayama will do with this series in the future. We had so much content dropped on us in this latest chapter. The fate of Ymir, an explanation of Zeke's power, Isayama teasing the deaths of Reiner and Zeke, as Colt will eventually inherit the Beast Titan power, and it looks like at this stage, Gabi and Falco are the likely candidates to inherit the Armored Titan power. And really, Isayama's keeping us guessing a lot of the time and teasing us with his foreshadowing. Just like in this latest chapter, what's exactly going on with Reiner and his so-called dream that he wakes up from? Has he seen into the future, or is this something that's happened in the past? No one really knows for sure at the moment, and that's the bloody awesome thing about Titan. You just don't know where the story's going to go, and that's why it's so good. And the same goes with Zeke as well. There's just so many questions about him that we can theorize about. Mainly, does he have plans to double-cross the Marley Nation? I have a few arguments why this could be true. All of the forces trust Zeke immensely, it seems, looking at the latest chapter 93. Remember what one of the Marley admirals said in this chapter, and I quote, "As expected of the Son of Miracle, I never once doubted the devotion of the one that sold his own parents for us." Clearly by that, and the actions by the Marley leaders in this chapter, it seems that all of them fully trust that Zeke is on their side. I mean, Zeke's just an absolute savage, who will turn on someone in a blink of an eye, just like he did with his parents. He's a bit evil in that way, but he might be playing all of them. And Zeke seems to be acting different in this chapter than usual, like with those conversations with Colt. It just seems that he's just got some sort of secret plan that he's hiding. We now know from chapter 93 that Marley don't know that Zeke has royal blood, and that Zeke does not have a son. There was some debate over that information because the raw translation that came out the other day made some errors, and as of the airing of this video, the official translation has not been released. It was pretty much implied that Zeke has a son, which being Colt, but really, in actual fact, he doesn't have a son. He was actually referring to himself being the son of Grisha. So he's definitely hiding the fact that he has royal blood for a reason, as Marley clearly don't know. And remember, Kruger killed everyone who tortured Grisha and the fellow Eldian restorationists. And also remember that Kruger silenced Grisha from revealing to the other Marley guys that Dina is of royal descent. So the information has been lost. Also on a side note, Remember again that Zeke was talking to Colt about a secret he has, but he didn't want to reveal it because a Marley Admiral was around. I reckon it's very likely that the secret is actually that Zeke has royal blood, not something else. It seems the most logic answer, but I hope it's something else. A lot of people online refer to the Eldians on Paradise Island, i.e. Eren, Armin, etc., as Waldians now, to differentiate between the Eldians in Marley, such as Colt, Falco, Gabi, etc. So that's how I'm going to be referring them for the rest of this video. The first person that some might think Zeke was aligned with was Kruger, but this isn't the case considering that Zeke was only 7 at the time, and he wouldn't have the intelligence as a kid to work together to double-cross Marley. I think what really got people thinking that Zeke was only on Marley's side was when he was young, was that he didn't want to get hurt like his sister Carla, who was killed by the Marley Admirals. So once Grisha told him about the Eldian plan, he told Marley because he didn't want to get hurt or killed like his sister. But I think Zeke learned something when he inherited the Beast Titan's power that made him realize the truth. Because as we know, the memories of the former Titan user come to the current user. So Zeke would have the memories of the previous Beast Titan user. And this again goes with the Secret and Colt, as I think Zeke wants to recruit Eldians like Colt to know about his plan, but he's super careful because of all the Marley Admirals that could hear him, just like what's seen in this chapter with the one approaching. Marley probably had him inherit the Beast Titan soon after he turned on his parents, as he wouldn't have told them that he has royal blood. If they asked him about it, he probably would say something, but whatever the memories were of the previous Beast Titan, he's definitely not saying anything to anyone now. Also, on another side note, if Marley doesn't know Zeke has royal blood, and if Armin inherited Bertolt's memories, the Waldians now know that Zeke is the one creating the Titans. And they now know that this is probably because Zeke has royal blood. There's more evidence such as Zeke's determination towards coming back to save Eren. He even mentioned in this latest chapter to all the admirals that they should return to Paradise Island. If he truly wanted to destroy all the Waldians, then why feel any compassion towards Eren at all? Why not despise him like he hates Grisha? And just look at Zeke's face here in this panel. This is from chapter 83. This is when Eren and Zeke meet face to face for the first time. Zeke says, "You don't look anything like your father." The comment really doesn't mean much, but if you look at Zeke's facial expression in this panel, it really does look like he's upset for some reason. And then after Eren responds in anger, Zeke says, "I want you to believe me. I understand you." Again with a caring expression. And then finally Zeke says, "We were both victims of your father. You've been brainwashed by him." And then Zeke leaves saying, "Someday I'll come save you," before Levi comes to try and kill him. This panel of Grisha and Zeke really makes me believe that Zeke is his own man, that he one day wants to get rid of Marley and everything to do with Grisha, and with that he wants to help Eren because they are related. That brother bondage, hashtag the feels man. But Grisha did admit once to Kruger that he was a bad father to Zeke. And we've seen throughout Grisha and Zeke's backstory that Grisha did treat Zeke in a poor way. And so it's very right for Zeke to have these feelings because Grisha put him through so much when he was younger. This panel of Grisha and Zeke definitely questions this theory. We don't really have a lot of hints or foreshadowing about Zeke's expressions about the Eldians. That's what I think. I might be wrong. Let me know if so. The talk that Zeke, Reiner and Bertolt had on top of the wall about ending the cursed history also makes me think there's more to Zeke's plan than simply taking back the founding Titan power to Marley and letting them use it. The secret he mentions, the cult, maybe have something to do with this, if it's something besides the royal blood. So, to conclude, Zeke could have plans to take down Marley and join forces with Eren and the rest of them to restore Eldia to power. But it could also just be for pure individual reasons, for Zeke to be the one that conquers the world, defeating Marley and the other larger nations. Or maybe it could be both. Seems reasonable. I lean towards the second part more, and Zeke having some sort of plan to help his brother out, Eren, and maybe the other Eldians and Eren's friends if he wishes to do so. Not so sure about the latter part, but we'll just have to wait and see. So that's the end of this video. Let me know what your thoughts were about this theory in the comment section below. How legitimate do you reckon this theory is? Is there enough evidence for it to become true? And stick around if you want by subbing. I'll probably have more Attack on Titan vids like this in the future and other series, etc.